Hey guys, welcome back to a Sunday chat where I wing it and we call it a show. Let me see who we got in here, and hopefully I'm 5 by 5 for everybody. Let's see, Saffron, I saw you in here first. Hey, Backwoods, Michigan Outpost. Anthony Tripp. Hey, Betty, glad to see you here. Rescue, you listen. Oh yeah, I have to do that. I have to listen to a lot of people's things, and I don't comment, but I'm listening. I'm doing other things. Hey, Charmaine. Oh, it's freezing. It's been cold here for our area, so I imagine up north and stuff and in y'all's different areas it's frigid. I'm over it. We're usually a little not hot, but we're warmer, which is something I'm gonna talk about because it's been messing up my seeds and garden stuff. Hey Teresa, Montana Nana, how are you? Hey Tiger. Oh, thanks for the 5 by 5s. Hey Matt Outdoorman, glad you made it. Miss Sharon, you're here. Dusty Country Road, how are you? Huckleberry's in here. Okay, I think if I missed you, I'm sorry. That happens when we're doing this. Or I'll go squirrel and I don't know what I'm doing. So, hey, Southern Mimi, I see y'all coming in. Hey, Michael, coffee first, then speak. I see you guys. Well, thank you. I appreciate all of you. I've missed you guys, but I needed the break and it did me good. So, like my thing says, never mind all the distractions. Stay the course. And I think I see this thing as we're kind of at the point where in that the bottom end of a downward spiral where it's going faster and faster and it's getting more chaotic. I see that's kind of where we're at. We got a ton of things going on. Yes, we have to navigate through that. What do we need to kind of, file and keep in mind or prepare for or whatever versus distractions, just overwhelming distractions. They're breaking you down. That is that kind of mind control, mind games, breaking you down, weakening you, overwhelming you. That's how they do things. So, a couple things. We know the whole thing about 45. I think that's just a political stunt, in my opinion. Nothing's really going to come of it. They're making a show. They're wanting to rile people up, cause more division, anything they can do. They don't want him to run again, on and on. That is my opinion. I'm honestly not paying much attention to it because at the end of it doesn't matter. Him, nobody else is going to come save him. Everything's going to be fixed. That's not. So I just, okay, they're wasting, time and money and energy and resources for nonsense, but that's what they do. The bank things, we knew this was going to come. I have been hearing a lot of people say there are certain people getting the slap for talking about the bank situation. I get slaps anyway, so I'm not going to go much detail. That has to happen. We knew that was going to happen. It has to happen for them to usher in the CBDC. It has to. It's how it's going to happen. You always get, you'll have those moments where you're like, something's going to happen on a Friday. That's when they'll do something, right? So that's just, and then of course they'll usher in the alphabet boys they'll be the heroes and all the nonsense that they do. So we have all that. I did want to bring up, if y'all have seen about that radioactive spill that was in the surface water in Minnesota that actually happened in November, but they had said they were not going to, alert the public unless it was a dangerous situation or something like that. And now it's all been coming out. So, that just goes along with everything else in line that they've been doing. There's plenty of things, all the train stuff we've been seeing and the fires and all that, way more goes on. That's probably even more serious than some of the serious ones we're seeing that they keep hush and that doesn't come out because it's doing what they needed to do. That's just my opinion about some of that. Let me see where everyone is in chat and anything else y'all want to talk about. Let's see. I think, hey, Tamara, I saw you come in. Papa's Farm, how are you? Cooking and listening. Yeah, I do I'm constantly go, and then I listen. Oh yeah, it is nothing. It is that it is theatricals. It's theatricals, and then the people on the other side who are going to get really bent and worked up, and they're hoping that people will react and be, it's going to cause something for them to say, oh, look at those, look at those MAGA people. Oh my goodness. Hey TNT, how are you? Hey James. Yeah, you're painting endless. I know. That's how I have to do. A lot of times I don't comment. I'm just fussing or yelling out stuff at the computer or my phone while I'm doing stuff because I can't comment. Um, let's see. Let me see what's going on in chat. Oh yeah, they're doing all kinds of. The people have different things. People say, "Oh, go get everything out." I don't typically leave a lot in that doesn't have to be in for like direct stuff for bills and stuff like that. It's all going to be worthless. That's why we're prepping. And that's it's their playbook. Just, check this off the list and turn the page is where they're at with things. I agree. I'm just going to throw this out and give a shout out to Miss Sharon because I love her and she's awesome. Oh, yeah. So do that. Please do that. I always encourage people, whatever the situation is. We have that. That's why people take even vacations from work or the internet or the news or different. There's some things I'm just bypassing by. I'm not even entertaining some of it anymore because it does, like I said, stay the course. It's nothing going on. It's going to change what I need to do to be ready and all that I have to do. Nothing's going to change that. And so I just whatever. Hey, Joe. I see you snuck in here. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Hey, Lady Smith. Oh yeah, the water stuff, of course. I've been saying for many, 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 many years. I said if they want to get a big amount of something, they'll put it in the waters. And I know that sounds, oh my gosh, KC, that's how it's so. I mean, it's true. I mean, I've had people say, oh, you take things so lightly. Not really. I mean, I think it's all awful, but I'm big on, control, what you can do anything about, and the other stuff you have to, okay, well, I do my part and I got to trust God with the rest because there's so much out of our control. It'll eat you alive, driving you crazy. And I'm not going to, in the meantime, in my time here and the time before shift, I mean, I think we're already in stages of shift already. When that happens, I'm not going to be miserable and so crippled with fear and anxiety over these things. What kind of life is that? I'm still going to live my life. Hey, Sergeant Deacon. I mean, that's just and that's just me. But that doesn't mean I don't have times I have to step away from things. Like I just did. I've done that a couple times since I've been on here, and I've been over here just over a year. December 31st was a year. Oh yeah, they love that. You have to just read through they hide the, it's a lot of it's theatricals and distractions. Yes, there's things that go on. And when they try to bury the things and people keep bringing it forth and then you get censored and you get little smacks and you get in trouble and they try to debunk things. To me, those are the things you need to pay attention to. The other stuff that they're putting front and center and making these big deal and it's all over the place. I don't bother. Yeah, you have to. I mean, I'm not saying that things aren't happening and I'm thinking, oh, things are just, gonna go back and there were different things. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm not gonna let it consume me, and I don't feel like any of you should either. What? Miss Sharon's not. She's. Don't let her fool you. She's on all of it way before it even happens. Yes. Hey, Poppy. Did I miss you or did you just get in here? Yeah. Thank you, Watchdog. How are you? If I missed you, I'm sorry. Sometimes, I don't know if I've called you out or not. Hey, Violet Flowers. Welcome. Yeah. That is a big thing. And, people have different opinions about, buying silver. And my thing is always when we have our list for things that we have to have, our prepping things, of course, the food or the water, you can think of, ammo, you can think all these, you need to prioritize. And when you buy precious metals and different things, you need to prioritize. Well, do you have your food and water in order before you're buying precious metals? And I think I shouldn't spill the beans yet, but I'm going to do a live with a creator. I believe we're going to talk about bartering, because I think that's important. I get a lot of people ask me about bartering, and when it comes down to that, because once the regular system is knocked out and they usher in theirs, there's going to come a point that you can't be part of that if you don't do certain things or fall in line. And that's why that's not saying that's going to happen next week or next month, but that's just how it's going to go. So you better know how to do all those things, because you want to have, it's going to be a different type of street smarts then about bartering, and whether it's skills or items or whatever, and making it fair trades, so you're not getting, pushed over either. Okay. So, oh yeah, about the Ohio, the soil stuff. I am worried about people up there. I do have, an aunt and cousin and second cousins that live up there. They're not from there, but they've been up there a good bit, but they're not on this side of like-minded. I do love them dearly, but they're just, they're not on this side of things. But I worry, they're like, oh no, that's a little bit from me. And I'm just like, I don't know. But I understand I couldn't just pick up and move either. I've talked about that before, but I do worry. And there's going to be something kind of everywhere. But I think it's always destroy the land, the water, because you can't be self-sufficient. The animals, the people, that's just, people just disposable to them. They don't care. And pushing people away from areas. They're kind of corralling people where they want them to be at some point. And, they can't take care of themselves. Oh, yeah, you be careful on the roads. Hey, Gmail Nana. Did you change your picture? Looks different to me. Did you change your little icon thing? Maybe it's just me. But glad you're here. Yes, that is the big thing. I talk about it all the time. Josh and I talk about that, is you have to have that balance. And if something, and like I did my last live when I was up here, I planned on doing something else, but I got busy, and then the weather's been crazy, and I had a migraine for a couple days straight, and I couldn't record. It's about that balance. And if you have something that is draining the life out of you, and whether that's news, YouTube, family, friends, the situation, you need control what you can. You're going to have to separate yourself. You're going to have to take a break. You're going to have to set boundaries or whatever. And you're going to have to find that good balance. Because, when people and that's something else we talk about all the time, all of us, mad outdoorsmen. I believe you've brought it up in some of your stuff before also. It's talking about if you are so stressed out and some things are sucking the life out of you, start getting anything like that, and you're not mentally or emotionally, balanced out with things like that, and you're overwhelmed with things, it's going to have a rough way to go. Now, when I say that, I say this all the time. I'm not talking about we don't have bad moments. We don't have, we do have stressful moments. We do get down about things or overwhelmed. We do. But what I say about sitting in the shadows, well, you both sit with it, figure it out, sort it out, get up, dust off, and you keep on. I'm stubborn enough. Things are just not going to take a stronghold over me like that. I am just stubborn like that. Yes, please, live chat. Where was I sitting last night? It may have been in TT1's live. Those rookie mistakes. Here we are. We ought to do it. And, we'll sit there and top chat. Live chat. Give me the thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. So with the YouTube games helps helps all the algorithm and all that YouTubey stuff I don't know anything about. Yeah. Okay. So about the bees, we're super, he's just, chopping at the bit for the bees. They are supposed to be at the latest by April 1st. Then the bee guy let us know they may be ready as early as the 25th, but they will not move your bee, they won't. We have to go get them. Because the guy's right. He's right here near us. Is if the weather isn't just right, you're gonna have a problem when you get in here. So we are praying about the weather because this has been really unusual for March for our area. It's been really cold where we got freeze warnings again. And speaking of that, is with the bees, that is going to affect them tremendously, especially putting them in a new hive and stuff. He could tell you more about it. I'm sure I'm behind in chat and he's already answered all this. But also with some of the stuff we have already normally every year put in the ground by now, or we put in our seeds, or I do them in my little greenhouse in here and then I move them. We are losing stuff because the weather this year. But we're praying and fingers crossed we'll have them just in time and everything will go smooth. It's just been cold longer and just weird weather. But yeah, I'm glad he brought that up. There's a big thing. And, somebody that also good will tell you anything about is Mad Outdoorsman. He's in here about people, if you have insomnia or the stress or the free radicals, I talk about that all the time about grounding yourself. If you go camping and if you can do it a weekend, but even overnight, it will reset that for you. I'm serious. It will, there's a whole big thing. If y'all want a video on it, I'll do it. But it will reset those things. If you have all the free radicals, all you're bombarded by all their electronic stuff, insomnia, all that, go camping. It will reset it. That's nature. I talk about that. People get all weirded out because I am very connected to nature. And then I talk about my faith. God created all this for a reason. He knew what it was doing. He knew what he was doing. And it works. Yeah, just that's right, Betty. Just keep doing things. Keep staying prepared. Hey, KP. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up on chat. Yeah. Yeah, don't get caught up in the negativity and, the pettiness can be everywhere. And I do not do drama. I do not do petty nonsense, small stuff. I just take it somewhere else. Because I'll hurt your feelings in a minute over something like that. I don't bring that to me. And you got to block those things out. And that's not being hateful or mean. That's protecting your peace and joy. Yeah. Of course, that's control. People are going to that's what it is. And people will get so scared and so overwhelmed and they'll think, oh, I have to have y'all to come save me. That's what they bank on. And then people will be begging them for help. No, not me. I don't think most of you. No. Yeah. YouTube. And that's why you have to, I have things that are my feel good videos or people I go watch. And there's this one, it's like food around the world. I can't remember if Snoopy was in here, he could tell you because he watches also. And it could be something, they don't even speak English or they don't even say anything, but they're like how they live in mountains in some other rural area in another country, or it could be but I do different type of sewing, different things. I'll watch that because it's not stressful to me. Oh yeah, it depends on where you're at. Now we've been up in the mountains and it's been really cold, and those freezing cold creeks and streams and water. I don't care. I'll roll up my legs and put my feet in them. It'd be cold, but Share. I know I do. When I take that break, but I will miss you guys. I'll miss you and I'll wonder how, but I'm always praying for all of you. I wonder how you are doing, but we have to do those breaks sometimes. And, I do. Yes. Full arm every day, armor up every day. I talk about that. Josh and I talk about that. We've done things. You have to, that's the biggest thing that's going to ground you. If you're a faith, that's the biggest thing that's going to ground you. Yeah, cigar. That's how I am about preps. and the prioritizing things. I'm always talking about going through your preps, like every couple months or something, or even that long. You don't even have to wait that long. Just kind of go through your preps. You kind of inventory things and, hey, I haven't gone through any of this. I went through this faster than I thought. I have this hole in my prep, whatever I'm seeing. I'm going to need, we went through a lot of this, maybe this winter I didn't think we would go through or something, and start. I am big on lists. That's just how I work. Do lists, prioritize list, and get it going. And here, as we're coming into spring and everything, if you are able to, I don't care if you have to do a container gardens, if you have to grow tiny little pots if you're in an apartment, if it's herbs, like healing herbs or, medicinal type herbs and stuff like that, or tomatoes are super easy to grow. Just anything that you can be doing that is something that is putting back that you can grow, do it. Just do it. Please do. You're not going to regret it. TT1 in the house. I'm glad to see you here. Yep. Remain calm. Stay the course. That's what I always say. You got to. I mean, if you got to get worked up about something, go ahead, go get it. Where I'm big about feeling your whatever. Let it out. Don't bottle things up. And then, okay, carry on. That's the way I deal with things. See, I am too Southern for all that. That's cold. Especially this time of year. But I don't, what do y'all have going on this week? Is there anything y'all are working on? Because here we are in March, a lot of places, but even some of the places that are colder than what we are here in the South, usually isn't about March and April, y'all start putting in your, different garden things or whatever. What's everybody up to or got planned on going on this week? See, that's a good tip. Be careful and know your stuff. Know who you're meeting. Don't just, but I'm going to do a live talking about that. Oh, we're going to be praying for you, Sergeant Deacon. Oh, I hate that. We're praying for you and the recovery of that. Better do things like that now. If you need medical stuff, if you have to have something done, get those things done now while you can. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I used to go to Rudy, the Alaska prepper, about information about getting a lot of different things like that, which he's on a break also. God bless him. I understand. We were both. You just get those. You have to. So please take those breaks. And the thing also we have to give our permission is yourself permission, to say, if there's something that stresses you out, it could be a creator, and it's just like, if for some reason it's bringing me anxiety or stressing me out. I mean, even if it's my channel, stay off of it, either for a while or altogether. I mean, just anything like that doesn't mean our head is in the sand. We're still doing the things, but protect your peace and the energy and stuff you allow around you. And again, like Mad Outdoorsman, it's about that balance. Let's see. I agree. And people are going to have to know how to do that. How do you know? Because we don't know really a lot of different than the money system. Or like if somebody told you said item was set amount of dollars, and you could say, that sounds a bit high, or, oh, that's a really good deal. We have to retrain our brains to say trading, whether it's eggs, honey, meat, skills, clothing, anything like that. You're going to have to do notebooks. You're going to have to retrain your brain on how to do that. And it's also, of course, it's going to depend. Like, I really need this medicine, but they're asking a whole lot of whatever, which seems like a lot, but I have to have it for life-saving stuff. Then you're going to put in a lot more than what it would technically be worth or something. Every situation will be different, but I think we have to start training our mindset around that now. Maybe I missed something. Did I miss something? But nothing really surprises me now. If I miss something that goes with something, my apologies. Yeah, that you got to practice. So if I have patterns, I can do stuff. So I can't make my own patterns or anything like that. But I mean, by hand and by machine if you can do it. But I mean, if the grid goes down, my grandmother had one of those foot pedal sewing machines. I wish I had that. I do not. Yeah, us too. I mean, it's just going. It's just dragging out this year, and I think that what we're going to have this year, we're just going to have winter and summer. We're not really going to have our spring and fall, but it's been getting like that more and more. Now, Huckleberry, we've all been there. He didn't answer you. That's why. Tell him. Y'all are so funny. I appreciate you guys. It does help. I hate the YouTube stuff. I'm terrible. I never say, please like and subscribe, share, yada, yada. I talk about that, but it does help. And y'all know, if y'all been following me for a while, y'all know that YouTube stays on me for silliness. It does help. It helps the channel. It helps me fight the nonsense and censorship if you do that. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and put this shame right up here too. I'll take a look at that. Thank you, Betty. I mean, like, I don't smoke or drink, but those are good bartering items because people who are used to having those things, I'm telling you what, when they go without, they're going to give a whole lot to get a hold of those things. Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't do that ever about anything. I'm going to talk something out and get it out. Because again, I'm stubborn enough it's going to explode. It's like taking a soda bottle and shaking it up. Eventually when the top comes out off, there's no sense in that. Exactly. Live by that. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, who it is, what it is. Exactly. I agree. I don't know who's talking about. If somebody's asked me if I'm married, yeah, my husband's in there. Huckleberry. I'm happily married for a long time. If that was directed at me, I'm missing stuff. But yeah, this isn't a dating site. Oh, okay. If it's the same account. I was like, I think that picture I don't know. But I see so many. But I usually, oh, are you getting bees too? Jenny Lee. Oh, great. I'm excited about our bees. I'm excited, but it's that nervous excited because I hate being stung. It can be and snowing and I would get stung by something. Things are just drawn to me like that. I get bit by things and stung by the weirdest things. I really do. I mean, I've never had anything like major where that it was I was in like I was an emergency situation, I'll say. But I'm hearing a lot of people about bees. I saw something. I can't remember where I saw it on last night. I even showed it to my husband, but it was talking about the harsher weather, how long it's going here in March, and they were having some issues with their bees. And some of them were, kind of dying off. Hey, Princess Buttercup, good to see you. I'm sorry if I missed you. I just saw you in here. Glad you're here. Yeah, do those campfires. And that's a big thing. I understand everybody's situation is different, but even if you can just have a campfire, a little bonfire, even though it has to be in a container, do sit outside at night with those things. I always encourage people to several times a year, more than that, is cook outside. Learn how to cook over a fire, or I have a wood stove or a campfire outside. Have your stuff. Learn how to do that now, not when you are forced to have to do that. Yes, hiking, all those type of things, all that outdoor stuff, hunting, fishing, hiking, the camping, the cooking outside. Hey, Pinup Prepper, how are you? Good to see you. Do all those. Do all those things. Oh, and I'm glad you brought that up. All those who are heading out this coming weekend, I think it starts the 24th. I'm praying for all of you, your travels, and your time up there, and I hope y'all have a wonderful time. It should be a good time for everybody. Oh, yeah. Anything with animals and nature and wildlife. But that's how I am. That's my comfort zone. If you put me in a big city and it was just concrete and building stuff, I would come unglued. I've never lived like that. And so that to me is scary. If I'm out in nature, it's critters in nature don't scare me. That stuff doesn't bother me. But then, I have a lot of you. I have two. I should have asked permission because I didn't. One of them is in here. I'll say that. I'm going to do a live with a creator and that's something I want to talk about because I have people ask me, about if you have to shift comes and you have to you have to leave the city or something like that. I don't have any really good advice. I can sit here and think about what I would do and information I've read about. But I haven't ever lived or experienced that. And I think that is a good point. It looks like I'm really behind on chat, so y'all probably answered some of this, but that is something I'm going to have a thing about, so I can help everybody, because there's other creators and we all can help each other, and I think that's good because there may be people who are on my channel that I've had a lot of people ask me about that. So we'll get that. Let me see backwards. Let's see. Have you attached a wire to aluminum foil from your body to the ground while sleeping? No, I do have a grounding pad type like that. If it's about as thin as a sheet, and you do the same thing with that, but not. I haven't heard of it in that manner. But I suppose if it's grounded correctly, you would be. Anything you get free radicals. Now, see, I have this weird type thing. I will fry electronics by touching them. I always have. I have to get that out. I'm always, ask my husband, bless his heart, I'm always barefoot or in flip-flops, and I kick my shoes off all the time. I just do. And I have to. I feel better that way. My grandmothers were that way. I got it honest, I guess. Yeah, I always go grounding and earthing, and I don't care how cold it is. And especially if it's just rain or it's a little damp or that dew's still on there, a little bit of water, that helps it even more. And if you have a body of water near you, that helps. And sit in the sun. So yeah, I'm always, even if it's cold, I try to sit. If the sun's out, I try to every day. I like to be out. I talk about the vitamin D. That's the best way you get your vitamin D, is to absorb. That's why they want to block all these things. And I don't wear sunblock. And any type I've made it, and it's zinc, coconut oil, a couple different things. I'll show you that. It's non-toxic, and it's just a bare amount. If you have to cover, I do not put chemicals on my skin like that. I would take something like this. I have my sleeves rolled up, and you would kind of block that if you felt like you're going to get burned or something. But I absorb all that way. Oh, I mean, I guess I should do a video using that. Whatever y'all want. If y'all have video, and I always welcome that. If you have video ideas or something you want, now I may not be able to do all of them. I say it could be a YouTube thing. It could be something I don't feel confident or comfortable enough to give you the correct information, but I could try to direct you. I do that all the time. If I can't help you, I will send you somewhere that can. If you have something you want to see, either put it here or shoot me an email and let me know. This is for that helps a detox. Onions draw out that stuff about the onions. Or if you put like sliced onion beside your bed at night, if you're sick or someone's sick, people are like, oh, it's old wise. I mean, it helps. It's a type of detox, and they absorb. That's why you never eat onions if it's been sliced and it's been like sitting out for a long period of time or overnight. Don't eat that. Don't eat, put it back in the ground, throw it out, because it absorbs stuff like that. I just made banana bread, Yankee Watchdog, just the other day. It doesn't last long once I make it. Hey, Bear 19. Don't worry if you're late. That's fine. There's always a replay. I understand. Hey, she's a wildflower. Good to see you. Yeah, that is what I was saying. It's just been bad, but that's okay because since the beginning of time, farmers have had good seasons and bad seasons and different things, weather, things happen naturally also. So, we'll do our thing. Last year we didn't get any potatoes, which is usually you throw those things in the ground, they'll grow, right? It just didn't. Oh, awesome. It's food in the freezer, right? Hey, Jason, welcome. Yeah. If you can do greenhouses or, I have one inside with growing lights. I do something like that. Oh, mixing. Yep. I just put when I showed you, I think on the pictures, I did our compost from last year. We let it go that whole time in season. Well, we mixed it into our garden area and tilled it all in. Yep. Anthony, tomatoes are easy. You can do those inside just about. Start and see. I see a lot of people. Oh, really? In May? I feel stressed when it starts getting April and I don't have my seeds and stuff done. I feel like I'm behind, but that's just probably. And I think right now that's why the weather that's ridiculous has thrown me off a bit. Are you talking about like if you ingest something bad, and stuff like that? Do you want answers now or do you want me to do a video? I mean, I've talked about if you ingest something, there's different things, whether if it's a food poisoning type thing or something toxic. I mean, I highly recommend everyone should always in their go bags, their emergency bags, in your home, in your car, everyone should always be stocked in all areas that you can get to it is activated charcoal. It doesn't matter if it's food poisoning or if it's poison, you've ingested some type of poison or something like that, and different things, which I'm going to talk about something I have sitting here anyways, there are certain specifics that like if you ingested this, or it was like, say it was a mushroom or herb or weed or food or something that is highly toxic and it was, a mistake. Maybe it was a lookalike. That's why I stress the importance of safety doing foraging. There are very certain things that can kind of counteract that. But in general, Activated charcoal is a must. Yeah, see, Charmaine, some of ours did and didn't also. I mean, um, that's just how it's gone. And have you remember I talked about when all the sickness was going around at high full speed and all that mess? There was a lot of people that are getting up with me and they were like, none of my seeds are Charmaine this that I've bought this year. And that went on for like 2 years. And you know, let me get my tinfoil hat. There was something different. I mean, same thing we've seen with the feed, with the animal feed and the different things. There was something going on with the seeds there for a bit. I am big on, and again, you know, I could do a video. I've talked about it a lot. So I don't know if I should do a whole video, but saving all your seeds from things that you eat. We save so many seeds and reuse them from, you know, the produce that we eat. We just keep that cycle. You just keep it going. Or food scraps. I talk about that too. There's a lot of food scraps you can regrow from, and you just keep it going. And I personally get my seeds now for a bit. I get all of them from Jan. I have her Etsy shop. It's always on my channel. And I am not affiliated with her. I love her. She's very helpful. I find the best price. I find things I can't find anywhere else from her. And I've never had any issues with her seeds. And I always have her link stuff on my channel. I understand that. I do. And yes, protect your peace, because if you can't change it, you don't have to let it in or be worried about it. I mean, that's how I am. If you can't change it, it's going around. That's not being, fingers in your ears and in la la land about something. Just like, I can't change this to do anything and it's causing me more damage than it is good. Then just cut it off, or don't let it around you. The over the counter. Yeah. All the stuff that you think you may need or use. Think about the things that may happen, could happen, all that. Do that. See, TT1. What's up, chat? Hey, Hillbilly Homesteader. Okay, one thing, I don't know how far behind I'm in chat, but I want to talk about this. I know I don't get my feed from Tractor Supply, but I do use my electric Tractor Supply. They have these, and you know how I am about talking about foraging for mushrooms. I feel like it should be a hands-on thing. But hear me out. And this one, of course, I live in North Carolina. This is North Carolina, South Carolina. At your Tractor Supply, they have these a lot. They're not just for mushrooms. They have a lot of different ones. They have like snakes and different plants and different things. And so I just feel like these are important. There's a little key inside here. You probably can't see it, but it'll tell you if it's edible, if it's, not edible, if it's poisonous, and it'll give you the identifications, lots of information, and the lookalikes and how to identify them. Humor me. Go get you one of these for your area and any other ones you see. So you see how it has, and it'll have everything for your area. These are front and back. But there's a lot of different ones of these. And it's laminated. It's very nice. There's a lot of different ones up there. I did get this one at my local Tractor Supply, and they have a lot of different ones. It wasn't much at all. But I think these are fantastic little things to have. And if you go to your local one, it's Georgia too. It's going to have it for your region. So it could be plants or herbs, snakes, different things. They have these up there, and I picked this up, and I talk about mushrooms. People ask me all the time. Those can be dangerous, but they can also be fantastic medicinal and different uses. And so I just want people to be safe. So I don't, because I don't want that on my conscience. If somebody, I feel like that should be a hands-on, but this is a good little thing to have. And it just has all these little key things on it, and it tells you about it and the lookalikes and how to comparison. I highly recommend those. Okay, let me catch up. Sorry. They do all the time. And I get to where I'm like, I don't care. Then if I'm going down, I'm going down fighting. And other things I'm like, well, let me play the game and tiptoe around because if I am kicked off of this, I can't reach people. And yes, I know I hear it. Unless you sit in this seat, I'm sorry. I'm not chasing platforms. Everybody go to Rumble. I've been on Rumble for a very long time. Probably after I got my first strike over here. And there's not a fraction of the foot traffic or anything. It's not over there. I'm over on Liberty Tree as well, so I can have that other, platform, but I'm not chasing them. But my hands are tied. All of us, our hands are tied, and it's getting worse about silly stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm grateful. I did win 2 of my appeals that I got, but they stay on me. Yes, with the instant coffee, I stack that up. I don't drink instant coffee like it's my regular coffee. I have go camping and take those things. And speaking of things like that, try the stuff that you're stacking up for your long-term food storage or different things. Make sure you test that on yourself and see how your body handles it, because the last thing you want is to be like, oh my, I am not doing so well with this. And then you're sick during a really bad shift situation. And also you may, it may be something you can adjust to or, but see now how that goes. But yeah, all that is good because coffee, tea, sugar, salt, all those type of things, the basic things is what a lot of people, unless it's an emergency and it's like, oh, I need medicine and stuff like that, or you have eggs and somebody doesn't, or things like that. It's those basic things that you're miss. Go study history thing. Look at stuff that went on in the Great Depression and things that they had rationed and things that people went out and those type of things are what a lot of people are going to want. And it's usually those types of things are usually, of course, everything has gone up, are a little bit cheaper. But I'm not going to be able to answer. I'm not even going to be able to read that on here. But you can email me about that. Okay. And on that thing, I think that everybody should try apricot seeds. They're really delicious. Okay. Read between those lines. But there's some other stuff. Oh, you can see how many times I get stung. I'm going to send Huckleberry out there first. Yeah, I'm excited. I really hope it works out. There's that, you put so much. We've been working towards this for a while, so you put a lot of, money, time, and energy into it, but you learn as you go. And I'm sure we're going to have hiccups along the way, and that's okay. But I'm going to document I'm going to be straightforward how I am with you guys and let you know. Michael G, no, there is a certain type that looks like a ladybug, but they will bite you. I didn't know that, but I don't know. He probably already answered it, but my husband got bit on his hand a year or so ago. And I didn't know they would bite, but they do. There's a certain type that can bite you. Hey, prepping artist. It's okay if you're late. Don't worry. Hey, Burn Billy, how are you? I love cooking outside. I love cooking outside and doing campfire, bonfire stuff, all stuff, even if it is really cold. I mean, isn't that the whole point of those? And then when it's really hot, I don't want to crank up this wood stove. If that was our only way, I'm going to be doing all of that outside. I'm trying to catch up on yeah, about using wood and stuff like that. Yeah, and also know your wood. That's another big thing is because there's certain ones you can't burn or cook over because it could be toxic for you. Learn that too. There is there's charts you can get for that. But thanks for bringing that up, Backwoods, because I hadn't even thought about bringing that up. But know that also. But I mean, that's the way you do it. Why not? Especially if you live somewhere. If you're surrounded by woods, it's all around you. You'll be able to get it. Tiger, I'm telling you, like there's a certain type of one. It's a type of beetle. They're all beetles, but there's certain ones that I'm. Where's Huckleberry? He's in here because I didn't believe him in it either. I was like, come on now, because I used to get them and make sure. And if I caught ladybug, I go put them in my garden because the ladybugs would get the aphids. You put them, they're great for your garden, and it's rare, but they can, and it's a type of. It has to do with the color and the amount of dots that they have on them. One is true ladybugs, and one is some type of, I can't remember if it's like a Japanese beetle. It's something like that. Hopefully I'm not missing anything for her. I guess we're almost an hour. I know they're hot. See how far back I am. I burn up I have that. Even when I worked in the hospital and stuff, I would have the doctors. I had to get a grounding mat. I had to stand on if I was going to get on because I would just touching them or messing with them. I have some weird high something. I just do that. Or like if I wear a watch, I have to have a back I have to put on the back of it because it'll melt the batteries and stuff. I can't remember what that's called, but I just it doesn't matter the season or I've been like this since I was a child. Then it's not the Japanese. I'll have to look it up. See, I'm gonna have to talk about the ladybugs that bite. Oh, okay. See, I may be far behind. Okay, so I am doing a live with Mad Outdoorsman sometime. It's either going to be on a Sunday. It's going to have to be on a Monday now that I'm on here because I got your email just a second ago before I came on here because I do my Sunday live. And those are his time. Sunday or Monday works for him. But I thought he would be great to talk because he is the outdoors one, but he has, lived that life of being in the city and would have to leave and know how. And I think he would be great to talk to about that. So stay tuned because we're going to set that up. Oh, awesome. With the beef. I did a lot more beef last year, I believe. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Seabass. I mean, I just kind of wing it. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know, let's get in here and see what everybody's up to and talk. In a basement, you can do this grounding mats. You can't ground on concrete. There's certain things that they say you can ground on concrete, say if it was wet, but it's not going to have the same benefit like if you were in, grass, wet, dirt. It doesn't always have to be wet. It's just it works faster and better. Or like if you're in water, like the ocean works fantastic. Or any moving water, the movement in the is going to help even more. But they may look into the grounding blankets for stuff like that. Oh, I'm sorry about the notifications. I don't know. I sometimes I'll have a ton of people it'll go in these like kind of clusters. They're not getting notifications. People are getting unsubbed. That's something you're going to have to check for. I did hear another creator say if you're subbed to a channel and you go a certain amount of time and you don't comment or like you're not kind of active with that channel, it'll unsub you. And then sometimes YouTube likes to purge and they'll just throw out a whole bunch of subs. I think like in a week and a half, I was down like 30 subs also. Now they may have left. I've had changes and been gone. And that happens. And then people get in here and it may not be for him. That happens. But when all of a sudden you like have a big purge, if you're a creator or something like that, or you're not getting, I get unsubbed all the time from some of the people I'm subbed to. And I'll think, oh, they've taken some time off and I'll go look and I've been unsubbed. It happens all the time. And all of us talk about that. Hey, Leslie, how are you? So it's something you got to check. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it, but most people say they don't. Sunday, I will always have my Sunday chat at 3:30, unless like I'm sick or like how I had to take my break or something was going on like that. I will have it. I try to, keep an eye on my community tab. That's about all I know to say. But it's not just people are just aren't getting them. I mean, I went through a thing and people were telling me that if they searched for me, I wasn't coming up, and I was afraid I was probably shadow banned for a bit. I don't know, maybe I really can't do anything about it. But that is the type of things that help with being kind of interacting with the channel, doing the thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you feel like. Either way, it helps it. And leaving the comments or, like, share, subscribe type things like that. It does help with these things because our hands are kind of tied. And then sometimes everybody can do things right. And YouTube doesn't like what I have to say or any other creators have to say. But it's been getting worse. Okay, I must be really behind. So the activated charcoal is the same thing. Like if you went to say somebody went to the ER and they ingested poison, they would, whether the person was alert or not, they would, funnel them with activated charcoal because activated charcoal absorbs and binds everything, poison, anything you have, pathogens, microbial, anything like that. It binds it and will neutralize that. So that is something you would take. Now, with that in mind, if you have a situation, you take activated charcoal, you need to replenish that because it also will strip all the other minerals and things out of your body and you can get very sick. So it's not something like, oh, I'll just take this all the time and I don't do that. And it can be used external, like when I got bit by that copperhead here, I don't even know how long ago it was. That was one of the first things I went for was to get the activated charcoal powder on there, so it would start absorbing those toxins. I was trying to draw it out before it went too far. Same concept. I keep them, and mine you can get in a powder, and I have them in capsules, and I just break open the capsules, and I use that. If I've had food poisoning or someone in the family has, I've used it topical a lot. Any bites, stings, different things like that, you want to get that on there. It's going to help neutralize that and draw anything that shouldn't be in there out. But everybody should have it. Keep it in your go bags, your car, your house, your medical kits. It should be everywhere. Yes. Oh yeah. I've homeschooled for MSCs and homeschool. My oldest two are grown, graduated out of the house, and I have two more. So, and the gardening and the homestead. Yeah. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's not always easy. It wasn't an easy path. It was the right path. It's my opinion for my family. Everybody do what's best for them. But I am allergic to avocado. If you have issues with latex, you can't have avocado, and it's so good. I can't have it. But yes, you can grow them from the pit very easily. They come out very well. Hey, Heather. I'm glad you're in here. Oh, it didn't produce. Did you, when I first ever started doing mine years ago, I was like, this didn't do anything. You have to change the water every day or every other day. Did you do it like that? You put it in the water to get it to root a little bit, but you have to change that water out with a good filtered water every day or it gets that stagnant and gross and it won't do anything. If that was the issue or not. Let me see. Make sure I'm trying to scan through here. If I missed something, and also I should have said this earlier. If you have a direct thing for me, as put it in all capitals, I can see it because I'll get over here and get squirrel or I'll miss something. Are you in general all the time or just right now on here? Whatever if you know what's triggering it, you have to remove that. Number one. If you're of faith, I'm of faith. I do things like that. And there's different herbal things. I have a video that talks about, go through my old videos and it talks about things for, it may say like anxiety and depression and things like that. Go watch that. If that doesn't help, shoot me an email, okay? Because anxiety can be it can be horrific, and I'll see what I do for you. But I am praying for you as well. And speaking of of this, I don't know how much I can say on that. CBD, which is, it doesn't have THC. It doesn't have THC in it. I mean, everybody has their own thing on that. You know, you do what's best for you and you're comfortable with. But and you can get CBD. You know, you can buy that anywhere in all states. Be careful what you buy. I can get stuff like that, but it will help, and it's not addicting. It doesn't give you that side effect of stuff. Yeah, I don't do pharmaceuticals, anything. That's my choice, my lifestyle. That's how we live. And I agree with Man Outdoorsman. Outside, the grounding, and maybe free radicals build up. If you have oxidative stress in you, which is the free radicals, that oxidative stress, I do a lot of things. I have one on there about grounding and different things. Older videos, if you just go through my videos and go to the bottom, start working your way up. Some of those older ones I did early on were about these things. Try that and see if it helps. There's different things like lemon balms. A good one is in the mint family. There's a lot of different ones. So look through my videos and see if that helps. And when I say that, never start more than one new thing at a time. Even if it's herbal stuff, if you haven't had those before to see how you react, never start more than one new thing at a time. Okay, and see how you react. That's a safety thing. But see if those help, and if not, my email is always KC little Gmail, and it's in my about thing. Hey, Papa's Farm. I'm glad you're in. I know you're busy. That's how I am. That's how I do. I listen. But anything, there's a lot of different things, and I have another video, and it's about, I think it's 4 or 5. It says natural alternative for certain prescriptions. I don't know how that's still up, and I didn't get a hit for that, but here we are. Look at some of those. Just see. I don't know and I'm not going to get anything, too in-depth details on here with you, but if you got to get up with me, go ahead and get up with me. Let me see. Let me catch up for everybody. See, hey, Elusive, how are you? Did you sneak in here, or did I miss you? And there's a lot. And please, when people are feeling this way, don't think you're alone. There's a lot of people who have went through that. I talked before. I dealt with anxiety after our middle daughter had passed. I'd never had anxiety or panic attacks, and that was something that I had and that was a battle. It's it can be crippling and awful, and it's just a miserable feeling. Okay, so what do you want to know about that? Epsom salt. I think Epsom salt is fantastic for detoxing. I keep Epsom salt as injuries, many different things. If you do a soak or in bath, I'm not sure exactly. Some people with diabetes or have the circulation sore type issues, neuropathy, you may have to be careful with that. So I don't know if there's something particular you're wanting for, but I mean, I keep Epsom salt as the biggest thing to use for a detox bath or a detox soak, or if you have an injury of any sort or infection, or it can be something simple as a splinter or something on your hand, and you soak it hot, very warm water, Epsom salt. Cleavers, yeah. You mean, can you like the cleavers or? Yeah, just be careful. I can't say a whole lot, but so just, those aren't things that you eat like you would eat an amount of peanuts. You have to limit the amount of how much you consume those. It can be dangerous if you take too many. Oh, flow hives. I don't know. We have all our equipment and stuff. I'll have to look. I don't know. My husband does the majority, but he's the bee guy right now. This is our new. We've been working up to that, but we use honey, and we're getting our bees from our honey guy who we've gotten our local honey from many years. He's not far from us. See, with the ladybugs will bite you. There's a certain time it's very rare, but there's some they can. I didn't know that. I think it was like last year or 2 years ago. My Backwood, do you still when you've been doing your lives, is your StreamYard, your chat messing up? It freezes and then it just scrolls off to wherever and you have to go. I keep getting that. That's why I'm probably so far behind also. Maybe it's maybe it is an Asian beetle. They look like if you just looked at it, you would think, oh, there's ladybug. And you have to know the difference on I think it has more black dots on it. And they'll get in your house. They'll come kind of almost swarming a ton of them. I mean, ladybugs do too, but you have to look it up. Exactly. That's why, people talk about like even my medical side stuff. I have to be very careful during when that comes because I can't do and help for everyone, and you're put a target. There's that safety concern that goes with a lot of these things we're talking about. I mean, anyways, about not putting a target on yourself, the kind of the gray man type of thing. Same thing we talk about those scenarios if somebody comes and asks for food, and you're like, there's worse scenarios. Oh, it's this elderly couple and they're starving, or a child and they're starving. Okay, but then you have to have that discernment and safety also because you are going to put a target on yourself. All of those things. I don't recommend. I wouldn't personally do it in where I reside at. But that's me. Okay, thank you. See, look those up and see how they look. I think are they more like orangish and they have more black spots, I believe. See, I'm not the only one about the watches. I'm glad. See, I will burn them out. It'll corrode. It'll just like melt the inside of it. It's ridiculous. It drives me crazy. That's probably I don't know. Some reason I just have that. I don't know. Is that something? I mean, it can be kind of like a genetic thing, also. I believe. See, balance. As long as you're balancing it out with something, right? Yeah, I don't get really anybody's anymore. I don't. I have to kind of if I see somebody has something, I have to put it on my like little calendar to remember, or I go check. Yeah, there's a lot more with these contaminated things, and if it's not front and center, there's different ways to view those things. But we knew this was coming, and that's why I'm big on water systems. However you get your water coming in, and make sure if it's surface water, if you're on well, you have to worry about that. Hey, Colleen. I understand. When I get off here, I got to get dinner going too. I'm going to get ready to wrap up. If y'all have anything, Beaverines, go ahead and give a shout out to the Beaverines. I appreciate all you y'all. Let's see. Spiderpunk, I've been looking for about a year. New phone last week. Oh, well, I'm glad you can interact now. Yeah, Michael, that's what I use. And a lot of times I'll use, depending on what it is. Like when it was the snake, I do baking soda, but I put turmeric and I did a series on that anyway, so you can see it down on my stuff. But I do the baking soda on more minor things. I've been bit by, spiders that are, bad ones. But you can mix the two of those together and use them. And sometimes if you're not really sure, just do both of them. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not doing that. I mean, I monitored my stuff. I knew. I mean, but I'm a, trauma nurse. I knew what to look for. Yeah, with the avocado. So certain bananas and avocado, the protein that's in that, it's the same as they get that how they make different types of even like natural latex. I can't. I can't handle latex, and I can't have avocados. I can have bananas if they're organic, but if I get a hold of a banana that's not organic, I feel kind of bad. But okay, guys, I'm gonna catch up on chat. Yeah. Really, I might have to disagree. I mean, depends. Everybody's different. Depends on your strain. But some have really good benefits, and also you have to know the CBD you're getting. If it has anything in synthetic in it, it will make it a lot worse. THC can make certain people's anxiety worse, but I know that CBD works well for many that have anxiety. And again, everyone metabolizes things different and reacts to things different. So you have to look into that. And like I get my CBD is out of Oregon, and that's what they do as a company. I would never just buy it off a store shelf anywhere. I would absolutely not do that. That's me. But it does help a lot. It depends on what you're using it for and the what you as an individual and how the quality of what you get. I mean, it is one of those things you get what you pay for. Yes, you can get wild lettuce seeds. I mean, same as dandelion or anything is they're called weed seeds. You can get a lot of those. But I'm sure I've gotten a lot of things sent from Jan. As a matter of fact, she has a lot of those things. Yep, those distractions weeded out, right? And again, when I talk about things on here, or when you hear people in the chat and they wrote, like if it's the CBD or the valerian root, I'm just reading different things. You have to, if something works for me, it may not work for you. And then there's some people have fantastic benefits with things, but I have an adverse reaction. Like I am one of those people. I cannot. No, it doesn't matter what is going on. I cannot take, and I don't take those, but they gave it to me in the hospital for something once. Have Benadryl. It will make me come out of my skin, and I mean it's bad. It does not make me drowsy or sleepy. And people who have things like I have tachycardia, I have a genetic heart thing that anything that is like those type of antihistamines, decongestants will aggravate that if you have any kind of tachycardia, certain heart things, and it can have an adverse reaction. Everyone's different, so you have to go what works for you. I can't say, oh, I had this issue and I took these things and it fixed it. And you say, well, give me the list. Now I'm going to take it, because it's not going to work. It's not, it may not work with you the same way. And that's why I always say never start more than one new thing at a time, because you don't know how you're going to react. You're not going to know which one you had an issue with. Yeah. Yeah, my backwards. I just saw your thing. And my hey Marvin, if I missed you. I am it's really acting. You just do hardwood. You can buy either one of them. Either one of them, as long as it's activated charcoal. The ones I usually have are hardwood. It's the bottles you can buy. You can buy and get them just about anywhere. You can get them in powder or capsule form. But it's going to draw it out. It's going to draw different internal and external. All right, guys. If I'm caught up, if I've missed anything, I'm sorry. I appreciate all of you. I always have the best chat. Yeah, I would say that, because I always say, write it down while you can, because I never know. I mean, I end up having 4 strikes in 10 months, and it was ridiculous. If you're talking to me, no, I didn't. It had gotten in my laundry room, and I was doing laundry. It was underneath my washer. I stood up on my toes to get the soap. I'm short, and when I did, it bit me on the kind of arch of my foot. Yeah, spider bites. I say activated charcoal, colloidal silver, do things like that. But I appreciate. Thank you, Ma Bear. I appreciate it. I can't. It's plain Jane. I may get a hit for that, because I did be. I mean, they removed a comment when I put it up there. It's called plain Jane. It's out of Oregon. And they have a lot of different things, and you need to look at it carefully, because they have full spectrum and they have isolate. So make sure you know what you're, getting into when you get that. But there's different, and it also, I mean, I talk about 90% of our serotonin is made in our gut. Most of the people who have anxiety, not an acute anxiety attack, like an acute something happened, grief, trauma, something happened right then and it caused it. But ongoing that, you need to fix your gut. Bottom line, fix your gut, because everyone who has some type of ongoing long-term anxiety, depression, everything like that, something's wrong with your gut. You need to fix it, and I did a video, I talk about the gut-brain connection and why it does that. And there's this rebound effect. This may get me in trouble, but there's a rebound effect when there's pharmaceutical things taken for that, we'll call disorder, that blocks that in our gut even more. And it just makes this vicious cycle on and on and on and on. So fix your gut. Go through my videos. I have that in there, the gut-brain connection and healing that. And I have the stuff about anxiety and stuff. And so a couple of you asked about the brand I use in Oregon. It's called Plain Jane. Thank you, Betty. I appreciate all of you. And Yankee, I appreciate it. I'm humbled by y'all's kind words always. And I do. Miss Sharon, I do have a great chat. I do. I mean, y'all always are just, everybody's so kind to each other in here. Sometimes you get into them and people are just, I couldn't do it without you. I learn from you guys, and y'all help each other so much. Also, I appreciate that. And the valerian, it shouldn't be taken long term, and it sometimes helps people sleep. You can take it because it can make you tired. Look into that. I've done videos, and some people have great results with it, and some people they don't. Like, there's some people who have great results with the melatonin. I personally don't recommend or use melatonin, but some people do great on it, but there can also be adverse reactions, because none of those are supposed to be like, I take this every single day on and on. It's just to be kind of to get you through something. you know. Oh, that's I knew what you meant, Dusty. I knew what you meant. I do my best proofreading after push the send button. Usually, that's how I am. I'm usually just go 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 go, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I should have proofread that. Bone broth, yeah, bone broth is so good for so many different things. Yeah, I can't. I don't even Benadryl is nothing. May not upset me. I mean, it don't work for you. It don't work for you. I don't think anybody was upset. That's silliness. It doesn't. I mean, but if it does, I mean, like I said, I mean, there's things that people swear by, and I'm like, I wouldn't be in the same room with it. I mean, that's again, we metabolize things different. Our genetics are different. If you look into things like that on what people can and can't take. Yes. And my thing is we do have to learn to let go of things that, I've said this before, my grandma said, it's not going to affect you in 5 years, do not give it more than 5 minutes of your energy. And I think that's a good thing to live by, because we get wrapped in these spiral things, and you better replace, if you have this negativity coming at you, you better quick in a hurry jump on and say, well, I'm going to replace this with 2 or 3 good things. Positive. That's that balance. And it's retraining our brain, but in our mindset, and having control over that. And, you'll go crazy over these things. It's constant, but that's why they do these things. Somebody said something about blood pressure. I have a video about that. Try that first. But some people have good results with that also. Again, quality. People, quality. You will get what you pay for, because there's a lot of them that are synthetic. And always look for things like that. Is you want to know what additives. If it has a bunch of synthetic mess in it, you are done with it. Just don't even read any more into it. It's not going to help you. It's not. But it's just you're wasting your money if it has stuff like that. But all right, guys. And anxiety, will cause high blood pressure. That's one of the biggest things for high blood pressure is stress. People think, oh, it's from eating fat and eggs and all that nonsense that FDA and the CDC and medical want to say. No, it's not. Sugar, it's high sugar diet, having high cortisol levels, stress, which is what stress causes. That's what causes it. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I have some videos coming up. So again, all I can say is with myself and all your other favorite creators, just regularly check. I know it can be a hassle. You're funny. Still have to put up with? Probably though, because anything I say. But just check and see if you're still subbed, and because the notifications, it's just what it is. You just have to check on your own. Sorry about that. Can't do anything about it. All right, guys. I love all y'all. Stay safe. Keep doing things, and I will see you guys next time.